Today is day 4 of the Court Card mini course. By the end of the day, you will fully understand all 4 of the Queen court cards, how to read them, and how to relate to the people in your life to those cards. So are you ready? When it comes to the tarot court cards, the kings and the queens are both masters, with the kings being the master of the visible, active outer world, and the queens mastering their inner worlds. The queens are filled with a receptive inner strength, while the kings are much more like active and out there. This does not mean the queens are passive, however. They are active participants in their own world. It's just that they turn their energies inward and they rule their kingdoms or queendoms with more like behind the scenes type of power. Unlike the pages and the knights, which are at the beginning and the middle of their learning journeys, the queens have a certainty and a self-assurance that comes through hard-won wisdom and experience. Overall, queens are internally focused, receptive, and they do their work behind the scenes, although it sometimes seems like they really are not working at all. They just have that magic that makes it seem like wonderful things just happen around them without their input or direction. But don't be fooled. The queens are in control and masters of accomplishing their goals. They just do it with different energy than the kings do. All right, so the king versus queen energy. Kings will tell you, I want you to go do that thing. And queens will tell you, this thing is so awesome. You're the perfect person and the only one I think who would be really good to do it. Do you want to go do that thing? Same goal, just different ways of accomplishing it. So the queens have also faced their own dark side, and through that they have come out stronger. They remember their periods of limitation and fear and struggle and stuckness. They never forget. And although they have moved far, far past that dark place, they feel a deep empathy for anyone else who is currently experiencing that pain. Their energy is receptive, understanding, compassionate, and intuitive. They are busy and involved, but they do want to help you. Personal connections are vital to them, even if it seems as if they spend a lot of time alone. If the queen is someone in your life, it will be a woman or a man who uses surprising levels of strength to protect, to nurture, and defend what and who they love. They are a lot more complex than they seem on the surface. From you, queens need your loyalty, your discretion, and most importantly, your authenticity. They, in return, will offer you connections, wisdom, and mentorship. When thinking about the queens, the energy is, I am a wise protector of. For example, and we're going to dive deeper into each individual card later, just like we have with every other video, but you can combine that I am a wise protector energy of the queens with the energy of each of the suits in this way. Queen plus cups is a wise protector of kindness and her relationships. Queen plus pentacles is a wise protector of resources and her physical body. Queens plus swords is a wise protector of justice and fairness. Queen plus wands is a wise protector of her passions, goals, and ideas, and your passions, goals, and ideas as well. So now pull out your PDF court card map that you downloaded and think of someone in your life who has this wise, compassionate, powerful inner strength of the queens. And this, remember, may be a man or a woman. So can you think of anyone who has that deep certainty and sense of self? Now, are they a cups, a pentacles, a wands? What realm are they a master of? Combine the energy of the queens with the energy of each suit to find out which card they are and write them down in the correct space on that court card map queens page. But now let's walk through each of the 4 queens individually so you can get a better idea of each of their personalities and get to know them. Starting with the Queen of Cups, Queen plus Cups, remember, is a wise protector of kindness and her relationships. The Queen of Cups tarot card is the ruler of your inner emotions. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith base deck, the Queen of Cups sits on her throne on the beach, contemplating the most ornate goblet of all of the cards. She is totally focused on what is in front of her. This queen wants you to love completely without giving up too much of yourself. This is not a card about self-denial or codependent love. This card, like all of the court cards, often represents a real person in your life, and that will be someone, male or female, who is deeply loving, sensitive, and compassionate. The Queen of Cups can also represent a role you are ready to play in your own life or a message you need to hear right now. Some advice for you. If it's time to take on the role of the Queen of Cups, look toward your close relationships and your community activities for inspiration, and model this queen's behavior by setting and maintaining strong personal boundaries before you give your time or energy to other people. You set boundaries and you maintain them. Both are important. You will have nothing fear once you've set and maintained these boundaries because you can love deeply, selflessly, and with joy because you know you are protecting those boundaries. So when you are living in this queen's message, you can own your feelings and express yourself freely while also being deeply loving and nurturing person. Now, Queens plus Pentacles, a wise protector of resources and her physical body. In the Rider-Waite-Smith traditional tarot deck, this card shows a woman sitting on a throne carved with pears and other fruit. She's holding a pentacle in her hands, and there's this cute little bunny in the corner. But she looks lonely. She's alone in her garden, and the focus is inward. Like all of the court cards, the Queen of Pentacles may represent a real person in your life. If not someone else, a role you play or a message you're ready to hear. So, this card specifically represents a very nurturing person, remember female or male, who has a loving, gentle, and wise demeanor. The Queen of Pentacles is like the most motherly of the Queen court cards in the traditional domestic motherhood sense. She also has the best garden of all the queens, where everything is constantly in bloom. She has created abundance through daily discipline and a healthy approach to life. She loves nature and is a resourceful manager of everything in her domain. This is a card of domesticity, homesteading, and fertility. Now, Queen plus Swords is someone who is a wise protector of justice and fairness. The Queen of Swords tarot card, like all of the court cards, getting a pattern here, can represent a person in your life, a message you need to hear, or a role you need to play. If this is an actual person, it will be a woman or a man who is a fierce protector. Traditionally, this card shows a strong and beautiful woman sitting on a throne. She's holding a sword upright in her right hand, and she's gesturing with her left. The throne, the crown, and her dress are covered with butterflies, representing the air element. The Queen of Swords is a perceptive and independent person. She might be a widower, or has otherwise suffered some sort of loss, loneliness, isolation, or grief. And these lessons have taught her to be shrewd, stern, and impartial in her love. This queen is logical, intellectual, and she never acts rashly. You may not like her. In fact, many people think she's just a cold-hearted bitch, but she is always objective and fair. Her heart is in the right place. She is insanely loving. You almost never see that because the demeanor she presents out to the world it seems harsh because society expects women to be soft and controllable. This woman is neither of those things. This woman, this queen, calls things as they are and is a fearless critic of ignorance, unfairness, and injustice. While she can seem to be frightening or intimidating, It is safe to take your mask off around her. She loves the underdog and accepts reality, including the weaknesses and failures of herself and others. So don't fear making a mistake in front of her. Just don't make the same mistake twice. Queen plus Wands is a wise protector of her passions, goals, and ideas. The Queen of Wands tarot card shows a woman sitting on a throne, holding a wand in one hand and a sunflower in the other. There's a little black cat in front of her. This queen is self-assured with a lot of personal magnetism. She has explored and mastered the dark places of her own soul, which is often represented by that black cat, but she's come out of this process transformed. This card can represent an actual person in your life, a role you must play, or a message you need to hear right now. If this card is representing someone in your life, it will be someone, remember, female or male, who is assertive and popular with overflowing confidence. Professionally, the queen will be like in an executive position, probably the boss. In the home realm, this is someone who is a gracious and easy hostess or host with a deep love for animals. And despite her comfort and ease, she's really more of a lioness than a house cat. This queen has achieved self-knowledge and self-mastery. She's easily balancing a boundless creative energy with such radiant self-assurance that you can't help but be drawn in by her enthusiasm and her commitment. She's ambitious and powerful, but she doesn't hog the spotlight. When this card represents a role you must play or a message you need to hear, the Queen of Wands wants you to go for your own dreams and will help you commit big time to your passions and your desires. Now that you have a better understanding of these cards, go through each of the 4 queens and map them to the people or multiple peoples in your life using this page. Some relationships to consider include your parents, caregivers, siblings, extended family, lovers, crushes, friends, frenemies, enemies, co-workers, clients, bosses, mentors, teachers, exes of any sort, children, pets, in-laws. I think that's all of them. The court cards will be people who have a direct influence in your life who you interact on a regular basis. Now, you may have multiple people matching a single queen card, and this is okay. During your tarot reading, you'll be able to choose which person seems to make the most sense for the question, the situation, or the spread. You will also have one or more queen cards that are blank, where nobody matches. This is okay too. So if you come across those cards during a tarot reading, you're going to know that doesn't match a person in your life. So you can then read the card as a role you need to play or as a message. And because people are complicated, some people seem to fit multiple cards. They may be a queen in one area of their life and a page in a different area, or a different queen in a different area. If you can, choose the card that seems to fit the best. But make a note that they have these other characteristics and there's some crossover. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just do the best you can to match your people, the people in your life, to the cards in the deck using your court card map. And remember, this is all fluid and can change at any time. People may match different cards at different stages of your relationship to them, and they themselves will grow over time just like you will. Okay, so what did we learn today? We learned that queens are compassionate, strong, internally focused protectors of their world. Their energy can be remembered or summed up as being wise protector of, and that energy combines with each of the 4 suits in this way. Queen plus Cups is a wise protector of kindness and her relationships. Queen plus Pentacles is a wise protector of resources and her body. Queen plus Swords, wise protector of justice and fairness. Queen plus Wands is a wise protector of her passions, goals, and desires. And soon, once you do your homework for today, you will know who in your life matches to each of the queen cards. Now, your next step is to do your homework. This should take you less than 15 minutes. Using the list of people you created earlier, try to match your people to the queen cards using the queen's page of your court card map. And remember, you might have more than one person matching a single queen card, or you may have a person who is represented by multiple queens or multiple court cards, depending on the role they're playing. And you might have some queen cards that you're completely unable to match to anyone at all. It all is okay. We'll sort it out. Just do the best you can, and then I will see you tomorrow where we repeat this process for the final cards one last time, those kings. Until then, happy taroting.